Okay, we're gonna start. I briefed some of the ladies that were on here a little bit earlier. We're taking it back to the basics, so it's gonna be a good call to bring to your newer coaches, or some of the coaches that you are hearing a lot of feedback from about. I think we've all heard this one. Nobody's interested. I can't find anyone. Yada yada yada. We're gonna go back to the basics of the 5-step invite process. Fun times. But first thing that we're going to do is we're going to do announcements. So first on the board, who happens to be on this call as well, is Kate Harris, who first week of February is at Success Club 10. So that's flipping awesome. Congratulations. Jennifer, you just informed me that you're at 10 too, although this morning you were only showing 8. So we'll shout you at 8, but we know you have 10. Bianca O'Brien has 6, and then there are so many people just for the first week that have points already on the board, which is awesome. Hopefully this going back to the basics and the invite process and revamping how you invite might help out. And, if you haven't hit Success Club yet and you're on the cusp of it, maybe this will help you do it. There's a lot of people in the top PV. Haley Corbett is at 7:05. Amy DeSanzo's at 6:25. Bianca O'Brien's at 5:55. Kelly Kochner is at 5:11. Kara Buchanan's at 4:35. Dawn Caputo's at 4:20. Jennifer Terry is at 3:90. Brittany Cooley's at 3:19. Nicole Keating is at 3:15. And Kristen Richards is at 300. And then we had 3 rank advancements today, which all these ladies get a huge congratulations. Tiffany Simpson went Emerald. Christina Watson went Emerald. And Kristen Richards went Emerald in her second business center, which is a huge deal. If you guys are new coaches, what happens is when you go 2-star, official 2-star, you get to open up a second U. And that's what happened with Kristen. She went 2-star last year, and she decided to open up her second business center for this year to help with elite points. And she signed, enough coaches under there to make that business center go Emerald. So huge congratulations to all of you. Moving on, February 9th, I have an Emerald to Diamond group starting. So I've posted it in Revelation Fitness a few times. If you are Emerald as of today and would like to be pushed to your next goal of Diamond, that is the group to be in. It will be 30 days long. It's being run by myself and my girlfriend from a completely different team. Her name's Natalie O'Leary. And also Amy DeSanzo from Revelation Fitness and Stacy from one of Natalie's Star Diamond coaches. So you'll get a wide array of coaches helping you and a huge push to your goal. For all the new coaches, if you have any brand new coaches, preferably less than Emerald status or Emerald status, but still don't know anything about the business because they're brand new. New Coach Camp, the Successful Start program, will be starting on February 16th. So that's for any new coaches you bring in that want to work the business. It's 2 weeks long. The outcome of that is hopefully Success Club 5 and Emerald status. So, they'll get the Revelation Fitness Coach Manual and, all my fancy little tips. February 25th is going to be a business opportunity call. So, you can start thinking of who you want to invite to listen to that as far as new coaches go. If you have been a seasoned coach or want to step out of your comfort zone and feel as though you want to lead this call, let me know. It's always good to get, your face out there. Does anybody have any questions about these? No? No questions. Okay. Moving on. Back to the basics. So how many of you have heard of the 5-step invite process? Maybe you don't know what it is, but you've heard those words. Yes, no, maybe so. We all kind of adapt our own way to it. There is some information in the back office on it. It's good to follow when you're first starting out until you do adapt your own way to it. Obviously, I have my own scripts that I use, not the ones in the back office, but they are good examples, and that's what we're going to be following tonight. So basically, what happens when you're inviting is something to always remember. Your customers and or coaches are not buying into a program. Yes, they're purchasing a program, but that's not what they're doing. They're buying into you. They need that trust factor. They need to know that you're always going to be there. So basically what you have to do is you have to create that. So in this 5-step invite process, it kind of elaborates on all of this, because you can't just come to somebody, privately message them and say, hey, would you like to join a challenge group? And they come around and say yes. Because if you're more like me, where half the people you're messaging you don't know, they don't know you. Or B, they don't know what a challenge group is. They don't know, some people don't even know what Beachbody is. It's one of the first questions that I ask. I ask a lot of questions. But one of the first questions I ask is, have you ever heard of Beachbody? A lot of people say no. My follow-up question is, have you ever heard of P90X or Insanity? Because that name is more known than Beachbody to people. If they still say no, I then go into telling them what Beachbody is and what we do. If they say yes, they've heard of that, I tell them that Beachbody is a creator of at-home workout programs such as these two. So getting started is step 1, obviously, which is the hook. So you bait your line and you throw it in, whether this is a personal invite that you're messaging from your chat bar, or you see somebody on your news feed that, is struggling at the gym, whatever. People post everything nowadays. So whatever you see, and you personally invite them to a challenge group that's starting. Or it is a general challenge group post on your wall. This is what's going on. I'm inviting everyone. Come join us. And somebody messaged you from that. It doesn't matter. That's your hook. It can be on any social media, obviously. So if you're doing Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, obviously you want to be posting on those every single day so that you keep up. People are watching you. One of the things that most new coaches do, especially, is overwhelm potential challengers with too much information. One of the things that I do on my getting started right calls with new coaches, I tell them, you don't want to be posting Beachbody, Beachbody, Beachbody. You don't want to be giving out all of the information in your first message to them and have it 6 paragraphs long. Basically, what you want to do as a new coach is continue posting like you have posted in the past. Now, if that was me, I posted once a week. But not the amount of times that you post, but the quality of your post. So if you used to, before you started coaching, and you posted every other day about something that your kid did, continue doing that. But now in between those posts, you're going to post something about your workout, because this is something new that you've adapted into your life. Your posts are your living life. Sorry. Telemarketers, I tell you, they call all hours. So you want to basically have the following of your life as a reality show. On my like page is a good example. I do a lot of biblical stuff there, and I do a lot of fitness stuff there because that's me. I incorporate the two. But in the same sense, I'm a mom, and I attract moms. So I just asked a random question the other day. I said, if you could, would you stay home with your kids? And it blew up. It just blew up. And as I'm starting these conversations with these people on my like page, I'm not on my regular page, they have a little reply thing, so you can actually reply underneath just their message. If I replied saying, so let's say Kara commented on mine saying, yeah, I really wish I could. It's not in the playing cards right now. I really miss spending time with them, because these people tell you their life story. I comment back and I say, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. How old are your babies? Every mother thinks their child is a baby, so just connects with them. And if they write back, if they comment back, some people don't, but if they do, I add them as a friend on Facebook, because now we've had a connection and we've started talking. So now we can finish the conversation on Facebook. I haven't said anything about challenge groups or Beachbody or anything, but just in doing that, I've had a few of them within a conversation say, hey, what's this Beachbody? Because they see it on my wall. So, I'm not overwhelming my newsfeed with Beachbody, but I'm not overloading my messages with Beachbody as well. So be cautious of how much information you give out. An example for my invites, this is what I'm going to tell you what I do for my invites. This can be very short and sweet. I say, hey, and I hit send. Oh, that was so easy. And I wait for them to write me back. So I normally do like 10 to 15 of these at a time. I just like go down the list, boom, boom, boom. And if somebody writes me back, hey, I wait until I'm done, with whatever I'm working on. And then I go back and I start these conversations. I say, how are you? And if they're polite, they say, I'm good. How are you? And you answer them and then hit send. I'm great. You always want to be great or wonderful or awesome. You don't want to be down. I don't want to say, I've had a bad day, because it's not about you. I'm sorry. You can come tell your upline that it's, that's what we're here for. But so then I say, I'm great. Thanks. How are you? And we start a conversation back and forth. And then very nonchalantly, I throw in just saying, hey, I messaged you because I'm inviting everyone to a fitness challenge group. Would you have any interest? And that's all I say. They either don't answer. They either say no, not interested. I'm just giving you some of the things I've heard. What is it? Yes, I would like to know more. And from there, you play off of, you want to ask lots of questions, depending on what they say. If they say no, I say, okay, no problem. And I go back into the conversation that we were having before, because I want them to know that I'm still connecting with them, that it wasn't just for a sale. Does that make sense? Okay. So if they say yes, or they, are wondering what it is, you would ask them if they would like more information, obviously. In between each step, there's something that we call a bridge. Without this bridge, it won't work. So you want to think of the bridge as a binding in a book. If you don't have it, they're just steps. There's nothing to make it flow. There's nothing to smoothly flip the page or move on to the next thing. So the bridge from step 1 to step 2 is that you want to prepare these challengers and or coaches, depending on what you're inviting for, to ask questions. You want to let them know, that you're going to be asking questions. You want them to ask questions, because the best way for them to make a decision is to have all the information, correct? One of the things that I hear all the time is, okay, that's great. Let me do some research and I'll get back to you. And I will actually say to them, well, what would you like more information on? Because if I leave them to do it, they're not going to do it, So if I can provide them with the information right there, they're more likely to actually read it. So it's, something that's worked for me. And this is what the back office gave you as 2 examples. If you have somebody who asks you about a price, first thing is, I do not just say the price, I do not come in and say, Teresa messaged me and said, what's the price for this? Or, if I said, would you be interested in a challenge group? And she says, yes, how much does it cost? I would personally say, it depends on this is what the back office tells you to say. It depends on what you want and need. How about I ask you a few questions and we can go from there to make sure this is the right fit for you. If it's somebody that I'm inviting for a specific challenge group, like my 21-day fix group, I won't actually say the price. I will tell them everything that they get with the challenge pack, because in my mind, the first thing that we read is what we see, and that's all what we focus on. So if you say $140 for, they're not seeing the rest of that message. They're only seeing $140. But if I say to you, you're getting the 30-minute workouts, seven different workouts, the meal guide that I personally am going to help you create a meal plan from, the workout calendar, the 3-day quick fix, the portion control containers, and a 30-day supply of Shakeology for $140. I've had numerous people come back to me and say, wow, that's not a bad price, because they see how much they're getting. I normally don't say any of that until the very end of our conversation. So if they ask me about a price, I kind of skip over it. I'm not ignoring it because I know it's going to come back up. But we haven't gotten that level of trust yet for me to just come out and say it, for them to say, okay, let's do it. So we kind of just skim over it and we start talking about, like, would you like to see a video? Everybody likes videos, so I send them a video. We're getting into next steps. Option number 2, if they're interested and want more info. This is something that you can say. You can say, great, I'm glad you're interested. Let me ask you a few questions and we can go from there. Very plain and simple. The more questions you ask, the more connected they feel with you, because you can now relate to them. You never ever want to skip the bridge. Otherwise, it's not going to flow. And people are going to be like, what are you doing? Step number 2 is the interview. These are your questions that you're asking. You're going to ask them. I ask this one all the time. Normally, if I do a post for, anything, I ask them when they contact me, what interested you about this post? Because I want to know why they're coming to me. Like, what's the reason? What's your goal behind it? So they'll come back to me and they'll tell me, what interested them, and then I'll ask them their goals. Big thing. You want to know what they're striving for, because you want to make sure that this program is right for them. So if I'm advertising for 21 Day Fix and they're an 80% clean eater, but they stink at their workouts, I'm probably going to gear them towards something else, because to me, the fix is more geared towards people who don't know how to eat correctly. That is where your biggest results come from, and that's why you get such good results with the 21 Day Fix, because you're narrowing in your nutrition. But if you already have your nutrition narrowed in and you're missing that 20%, which is your workouts, we're going to talk about something else. So I want to know what their goals are. It's important. You need to connect with them. A lot of them, you're going to attract people like you, even like I say it all the time, as far as coaches wise, but for challengers too. You're going to hear a lot of challengers who come to you that say a lot of the same things that you used to have an issue with, or do have an issue with, that you can say, I understand, like I've been there, or I can relate to that, or somebody that has, so you can connect on that emotional level and actually create that trust bond. So some of the tips that the back office gives you is you want to slow down. Obviously, it's not a race to the sale. It's a race to the challenger being satisfied in what they're doing. So you, like I said before, you want to remember that you're building relationships. It's not about the sale. They're not purchasing a challenge pack. They're basically purchasing you as a coach. Yes, we're free. It's one thing that I tell everyone. I don't have to be doing this. You can just go on beachbody.com and purchase it. But for me, the way that I explain it is, it's like a tripod. If you don't have all 3 legs of the tripod standing up evenly, it's going to fall. So the tripod of us coaches and Beachbody is the fitness, the nutrition, and the support. If you take the support out, most people, which is why they started Beachbody coaching a couple years ago, where people were buying the workouts, but they weren't completing them because they didn't have the support at home. It's easy to go to a gym and get motivated to get on the treadmill because other people are watching you. But when you're home, it's easy to sit on the couch and do nothing. Who's going to be there to support you? So they're buying into that. But I make them aware, like, my time with you after you get in this challenge group is solely your time. Like, I do this because I enjoy doing this. It's not because, basically, if you honestly narrow it down, off of a challenge pack, we will make less than $1 a day, as a coach. But because you enjoy what you're doing and you're going forth with that, it's going to make a bigger return. Does that make sense? Okay. Making sure you know that. You want to use step 2 all the time. As many questions as you possibly can. It's good. It's good with new coaches. It's good with coach prospects, because I don't know if you guys know this. I know, like, when I started out as a coach, it was like, oh, I'm going to sign everyone. But you can actually pick and choose who you want to be on your team. I think 2 years in this business, I think I've turned down one person that wanted to be a coach on my team because it was not a right fit for us. So it's important to do the interview process because you might come across a challenger who is not a right fit for you. And that has happened to me as well. Granted, it was their choice not to work with me because what I was telling them was not what they wanted to hear. But in that same sense, if it was just a race to the finish and just sign a challenge pack, you're going to be hurting yourself in the end because you didn't ask these questions and it might not have been a good fit. Step 3 is to send videos. So that's what I do. I told you guys I do this. Once I get into what a challenge group is and if they're interested, and we narrow down, if it's not for a specific challenge group, and we narrow down what type of workout program they like. So I'll ask them, what type of workouts do you like? Do you like cardio, dance, lifting, variety? And from there, we'll narrow it down, and I'll send them probably about 2 videos to choose from. That way, it's visual. They can see it. They can see the results that, Beachbody has put together. Beachbody is the #1 company for infomercials, so utilize their videos because they're obviously really good. I know that if I don't want to work out, I'll just go watch Shaun T's infomercial video on YouTube, and I'm like pumped up to go work out. Like, that's just what it does. So use them. Set up a time. You want to use the if I, would you lingo. So if I sent you a video on a 21-day fix, would you watch it? If they say yes, then you come back with what time would be good for you to watch it. Like what time works for you. This is before you send the video. You want to nail down a time, and then once they say, okay, I can get to it, after I put the kids to bed around 8 o'clock, then you can say, okay, great. So if I message you tomorrow morning for you to let me know what you think, would that be good? And be like, yeah, that'd be great. Or if it doesn't work for them, they'll say, okay, no, could you message me in the afternoon? But then you at least have a time nailed down. And then you can send the video. And then in your follow-up message after that, you can say, here's a video. I look forward to speaking to you at such and such a time. You want to confirm the time with them. You can use the videos in the back office. You can use the videos on coachingcodes.com. You can use the videos on YouTube, whatever you prefer. So step 4 is your follow-ups. This is that set time that you chose with somebody. Can you guys tell that this is not like, just a bing, bang, boom type thing? Some of them are, but not all of them. You want to follow up. Sometimes these people don't answer you. They're either, something that I hear from my friend who's a coach all the time, they look at it at a stoplight and then forget to message you. Or they don't want to tell you that they didn't watch it yet. Or they don't want to tell you that they're not interested. Or they see it and just completely forget about it. It's important to follow up 2 or 3 times because normally by the 3rd or 4th time, you actually get a response or you get a yes. This is the same thing for your no's. You keep a list of your no's, and every month you re-invite them to a challenge group because, yeah, February might not have been their month, but April might be. And if you didn't invite them in April, then they missed their chance and you missed yours. So I forget the rule of thumb, but it was like for every 3 or 4 no's that you get from one person, the 4th or 5th is a yes. So that constant going back. Ashley, are you laughing because that was me and you?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, it works. And then step 5 is to help them enroll. Obviously, this is what we're all shooting for, whether it's for discount coach, working coach, challenge pack, whatever it may be, we want to help them all the way through. For me, I walk 99% of my challengers coaches, discount coaches, through the sign-on process one-on-one. I pick a time that is good for them to walk them through because 99% of the time, they do it wrong. So the other day, 2 days ago, I think it was. Actually, it was 3 days ago and then 2 days ago. I tried to sign 2 people up with a discount, and the back office was screwed up, and both times it didn't happen. I was like, but we walked it through. So I schedule the time. It's something that's priority for me because if I don't schedule that time, it's actually going to take me longer to call Coach Relations, have them call them, transfer the whatever it is. If they were supposed to sign up as a discount, but they only bought the challenge pack, Coach Relations can't even help you. The customer literally has to go on, sign up as a coach, pay the $40 extra on top of the challenge pack they just paid, and then go into the back office when their back office is up and running and submit the $40 thing for the refund. So it's a lot more hassle for the challenger / discount / coach as well. So that's why I schedule that time. It's more beneficial for me. However you guys want to do it is up to you. Does anyone have any questions? That was 5 steps. Seems long. It really isn't that long once you get the flow of how you're going to talk to people. Like I said, I have a script. I've written it out for many of you. But it's bing, bang, boom, back and forth. My rule of thumb is if a conversation for a challenge pack goes longer than a week where you've given them information numerous times, move on, please. When they're ready to actually commit, they will come back. I promise you. But it's not worth your time because that time spent giving them the same information over and over again could be spent inviting other people and helping other people. And I have a coach who has been trying to work the business for a long time, and she's finally just realizing that, she can't stick with these people. A year ago, she was talking to people for weeks on end, the same people. And just a year later, they've come back to her and said, okay, let's do it. But she spent all that time with them for so long that she missed her opportunity to work with other people. So, if it's information that you haven't given them, obviously give it to them. But if it's something that somebody keeps coming back saying, okay, I think I'm ready. What is this again? Or what is that? Or, you've given them the information, bless and release, which I think you guys will experience when you have people coming to you. But yeah, nobody has any questions? It sounds so simple. It is simple. Right? Nobody? I'm going to call some people out here. Hey, Amy, I'm going to call you out. Yeah, you. Cousin Amy.
Hey.
Hey. So,
yeah.
Amy here has been a little wildflower on the wall. And recently, she just blossomed. Your invites, or I don't know what you're doing. So does it have to do with invites? Because you hit.
I just decided to not really hold back. Actually sharing on my personal page helped a lot. I wasn't getting a lot of business from my my fitness page, even though I was being pretty consistent with it. But I feel like on my fitness page, I was kind of limiting how much of my own personality I shared, because I'm like, well, it has to be fitness or nutrition related. So when I feel a lot more that my personality is coming through on my personal page, and I feel like it's coming across more genuine and people can relate to me more. And I feel like the facade is down. I don't know, just coming back from Pittsburgh, a million ideas just blew up in my head. And the whole thing that really stuck with me was just being more real and being more raw and open and honest. And just having even more of a positive attitude. I just, you get in those funks where you're just oh, this happened and I didn't sell that. And it's just you have to just be okay, moving on. Don't let it derail you. And I let a lot of things derail me. And that's where I am. Yeah. Personal development helps a ton. So if you're not doing personal development, you need to. That's all I have to say.
She is living proof that going to an event, a Beachbody event, blows your business up. Blows it up.
The day after.
Yeah. You just get this fire in you. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
You like know how to light it.
Like a B12 shot.
Yep. So get to those events. Something else I wanted to add. Oh yeah, the whole be real, be raw, be you. Did you get that from our group? Were you in our group? The emerging leaders group. Were you in that emerging leaders group?
Yes, but
Yeah.
I didn't see it there.
The number 3 coach in Beachbody did a call for us on there, and she talked about being be raw, be real, be you. And that goes back to what I was saying about posting on your wall. You know, you want to post your life. Like, it's not just going to be geared towards one thing. It's going to be everything, you know? And you want to interact. The posting for the likes or the comments are not just for the likes and the comments. It's for the interaction. So make sure that you're commenting back and you're, you know, making conversation with people, because that's, people want to see that, like, you're active on there. One tip that I do know, if you post something for a challenge group and you get some interest on the actual thread, don't give any information on there. Just comment, you know, tag them so-and-so, I'll message you, you know, because one thing that might work for her or him might be a turn off to somebody else. So, you know, you have to talk to people. That's where coming in with all these questions come in. And Miss Bianca, who's on this call, she is now targeting her niche, which, you know, has blown up for her, Brazilian mommies. And the post that you posted in Revelation Fitness, I'm like, I wish I knew what this said so I could, like, actually, like, you know, help you with that. I don't speak that. But I mean, in less than an hour, she had 160 requests to join her group because, you know, she's targeting her niche. So find out who you are. Like, some of my coaches I can pinpoint, you know, like Ashley, you'd be like hair and all that kind of stuff. Like, you gain people who, you know, you can relate to. So, you know, Amy's music and just picking out, you know, Kate's Christian mom, stay-at-home mom. Kara's a mom of 4, soccer player, like, husband who's never home. I don't know how she does it. House is spotless all the time. Like, really? So, like, finding those things that are you, that really people can relate to, is what's going to draw them in, honestly. And I know it sounds so silly because it took me 2 years to realize this, but I'm telling you this now so you don't have to go through what I went through. But just really taking that time, even if it's taking your time away from, you know, doing something else for your business, and just really focusing on who you are going to talk to, is going to make your business that much better. So really, you know, try to concentrate on that for a while and start posting geared towards that specific person. That pool of 1,000. There's more fishes in there.
One other thing I just realized that really, really, really helped. You know, like that movie, Field of Dreams, you know, they're like, if you build it, they will come type of thing. Well, I felt really silly, but I started a closed group for my own coaches. And I was like, but I only have like 3 working coaches, and it's not like a big team yet. And I felt like really like insecure about that. And I felt like, no, like, I have to step out in faith and be like, you know what, if I'm going to make this, and, you know, taking risks too, and just out of faith and just stepping out, doing something that's kind of scares you a little bit. Like, I think that really challenges you to be successful. Yeah, so I did that. And I, you know, also just like realizing, you know, how you work best. Like, I know that as soon as I'm in a teacher position and I'm in a leader role, like, I up my game. And like, it's almost like, you know, like, oh no, like, you really gotta, you know, push yourself and know your stuff is if people are following you. So, you know, like, know what makes you tick, and like, know how you operate.
Yeah. Definitely stepping out of your comfort zone is going to drive your business forward. It's the only thing that, I mean, forward is the only direction it can go. You know, if you step out of your comfort zone and you fall flat on your face, you're right back where you were before, you know? So with building a business and a team, you're constantly out of your comfort zone. Like, I'm the biggest introvert you'll ever know. Like, I don't want to do these team calls, but I'm the leader of this team. So this is out of my comfort zone. Yes, it may get easier, but you know how nerve-wracking the first one was? I mean, if you have, like, for Amy, like, she took that leadership role and she made a page for her working coaches because she needs a place to connect with them outside of Revelation Fitness, because Revelation Fitness is informational, but it's everybody, you know? But her coaches need to see her as a leader as well. And like she said, you start presenting yourself as a leader, people are going to come to you because they see that. And obviously somebody wants to be taught by a leader, you know? So that goes for either challenge group or coach related as well. Anybody have anything else to say? No. Everybody's so quiet. Come on, people.
Okay, so I have a question.
Okay.
So you know how we do that exercise where you have like your perfect coach?
Mm-hmm.
I found my perfect coach. Like I found someone that's like I want this girl on my team so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, she's my friend right now. We've talked a little bit, but I don't know if I should wait. Like I just friended her yesterday. I've been watching her. Kaileigh, this girl has a like page already and she's already coaching, but she doesn't know anything about Beachbody, and she just coaches. She just does it for free. Right. So it's like a no-brainer. And I need a Brazilian coach like immediately, like yesterday. I can't handle all the leads that I have right now, and I really need somebody to help me. So she would be perfect.
Pitching to your niche. She can't handle her lead.
The thing is, do I wait before huh?
I was saying perfect.
No, I can't. I haven't messaged everybody. So how long do I wait before I ask her?
Honestly, you're going to hear something different from every coach. I believe that your upline would tell you to wait. That's just Kristen, I believe. For me, if you ask Melanie, I have no shame in asking everyone to coach. You know? Yeah. I will talk to somebody and they'll say about challenge group, and they'll say, I don't have the money right now. I'm like, oh, would you ever consider coaching? Like they just told me they didn't have any money. But I've gotten numerous people to sign up for a coach that way because I ask everyone if they want to coach. Like honestly, it's the best thing that Beachbody has to offer. Why would we hold it back? Like right. That's just my view. And I know from experience from what it's done for me, and Bianca, I know, what it's done for you. So in my head, why hold it back? She's already accepted your friend request. I'm sure you've had minimal conversation. You could, obviously I want you to talk to Kristen about it because she's your upline. But what I would do is I would just message her and say, start off a small conversation. Like I said, I don't know if you were here in the beginning of this, but just saying like, hey, how are you? And waiting for her to comment back. And just say, hey, I've been really thinking about you. I love your life page. Like load her up with compliments. I feel like we have a lot in common. Would you ever consider coaching? And she most likely will be like, what's coaching?
Yeah.
You want to ask questions. You want to ask the questions. You want, that's just how I roll, basically.
Okay.
And I'm constantly like, I'll be on the phone with Deidre and I'll be like, this person, I'm thinking I'm going to ask them to sign up as a coach or like to be a coach. And she'll be like, we'll be in the middle of a conversation and I've already done it. And I'm like, oh, they want more info. She'll be like, what? Like, that's just, I have no fear in inviting for coaches. I have fear for inviting for challenge groups. Everyone is going to have a fear for inviting to something. Mine's challenge groups because I don't want to offend anyone. But coaching, I can invite a wall. I don't know. Like, that's just me. So I would talk to Kristen and see what she would do. But you're more outgoing in that sense like I am. So I don't know. I would just ask her.
I think I'm scared she's going to say no. I'm like, no, I'll be crushed.
But if she says no, it doesn't mean no forever. It just means no, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to watch what you do now that we're friends on Facebook.
You're right. Right.
I need to just get over it. Now that, and honestly, I feel as though if you ask and she still says no, but yet you still communicate, every week or whatever, and she's seeing your stuff every day, if somebody else asks her and she decides to do it, I think she'll go to you. because you've already asked her, you've established that trust. But if you don't ask her and 3 days from now somebody else asks her, she never knew you were a coach or that you wanted her on your team, you know? So I kind of think of it that way as well. The worst that can happen is she says no and you're right back to where you started.
Right.
You just know it's a no right now, you know?
That's true.
Or you can invite her to the business opportunity call.
That's what I was thinking of doing, of just bumping it up, because I had one scheduled for the end of the month, and then I'm like, well, I haven't announced anything yet, so I could just make it next week, and then that way, you know, have like an open invitation for it.
I mean, normally if I find, like I'm advertising for coaching right now, but my business opportunity call is not until the 26th. So that business opportunity call is going to be advertised to a whole new slew of people. Like the people that I'm inviting to now are just invites. I just send them a business webinar that I've already recorded, or I get on the phone. Like I was just on the phone before this call with somebody who's interested in coaching, you know, and I just went over it on the phone. So you could do that as well. You don't have to move your plans. You can just, that's why we record them.
Right. You know, I've been thinking of doing that. I could just record it and then use it at a later date, right?
Mm-hmm. You can record it and use it that night as yours. Nobody would ever know.
Yeah. I think I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be better.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you.
No problem. Any other questions? Come on, don't be shy. This is your comfort zone. Here it is.
I have one.
Yeah, go. You don't have a comfort zone.
What do you mean? I got out of my comfort zone tonight. Do you see my post? That was a big deal for me today.
Oh, I didn't see it. No, I'll have to look.
No, because you ignore everything in Fired Up Fitness.
Oh, I don't even think I'm in there anymore.
Oh, so you took yourself out, no less. Very nice. Whatever.
Okay.
So I have a real question.
Uh-huh.
I want to do, we have all these groups going right now. So I'm still in the Insanity Max 31. I need a group starting in February for all the people that are buying in February. I don't have anything specific started. I don't think I'm going to have enough. So I was wondering, could we just do a general one in Revelation that a bunch of us can join? It can be general, and maybe I'll run it with someone else to do something more interesting. Or is there another types of groups we could do? I was thinking we could just brainstorm some ideas.
You can definitely post it in Revelation Fitness and see if anybody has. It's hard.
I did. Nobody answered, though, I don't think.
You posted that?
Or maybe it wasn't in there. I might have put it in Diamonds and Up. I can't remember where I put it.
All right. I'll look. I'll post it. But it's hard, and I tell my new coaches this, it's hard to schedule a general challenge group or anything on a month where there is a brand new program coming out, because a lot of coaches are doing test groups.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's hard. And so I'm not selling anything but 21 Day Fix or 21 Day Fix Extreme, you know, so.
Well, everyone me too, pretty much. So I guess I could just do another 20, because the people that are buying that new coach pack are all starting with a fix anyway.
Right. So yeah, you would just do a 21 Day Fix group. It's small, it's fast, it's not going to be a 60-day group.
Okay.
I would say you're more than welcome to invite them to mine, but mine is they're doing a Bible study in it too, so it's geared more.
But you're starting Monday. We have one starting Monday already. I'm gonna just start another one later in the month then.
Yep.
I have one on the 16th.
Okay.
If you want.
Okay.
Is it going to be in Portuguese?
What?
It's going to be mixed.
Okay.
But right now there's only 21 Day Fix people in it, so.
Okay.
No, Bianca, I said, is it going to be in Portuguese?
Oh no, that's another problem that I have. I have 3 challenge groups running right now. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's what I have too, and staying in them. But one thing that's helped is I'm not the only administrator in all of them anymore. I'm letting coaches take over, and I think they're doing awesome.
Yep.
The 16th is going to be run by 2 of my new coaches as well.
Okay.
But I'll help them.
Okay. Cool. Any other questions?
No. I'm dying to know what Bianca's post actually said.
Oh, Bianca, what'd your post say? It was something. Somebody said something about Herbalife.
That the Portuguese. No, the one that the Herbalife rep.
Yeah.
She like, I think she like favored me or something because everything that I post, she's on it. I think she realized that my group, the one that had 160 people, now has 400 people in it.
Jeez.
And you know, people are like, every time they're asking me questions and they're posting things, and every time I comment on somebody's post, she's like, I sell Herbalife. Here's my number. Call me. Every time. I just want to strangle her.
Yeah, I would remove her.
I can't. It's not my group.
Whose group is it?
She's not in the group that I made for the moms. She's not in that. It's like it's an open, like, that's how I found them. There's a Brazilian mommies group for Miami, and that group has like 4,000 people in it. That's what I announced I asked the administrator if it was okay for me to do a post inviting people to a free group that I was running for, you know, a fitness group, a free group. And I said, I'm not going to charge them anything. It's just a free group. And the administrator said, fine, go ahead. Yeah, add me. So I did. So I made a post, and the post got like 200 likes or something. And then everybody just started friend requesting me. I went from 800 friends to 1,000 friends just in the month of January on Facebook. Just with people, because I made them friend request me so I could add them to the group.
Mm-hmm.
And so this girl, I guess she realized that, you know, my popularity with the girls, and I'm doing a bunch of free stuff for them. Like, I'm making meal plans. I have very little, I haven't said anything about Beachbody in the group whatsoever, but I've gotten a lot of customers from there because they're all my friends and they're watching me. So they're like, every time I announce for something, they're like, what is this about? And when I talk to them, and they're like, okay. So I had to start a Brazilian challenge group for them for that reason. So I've been telling my coaches, go and find, you know, groups that speak to you, and do the same thing. Message the admin, ask if you can, you know, do a free group, you know, say, I don't know. It helped me, so.
But do it to your niche. Don't go to a Brazilian group if you don't support them. That's why it's important to know who you're speaking to.
You pretend.
Otherwise, you'll be like us in the Revelation Fitness, like, oh, what'd they say? Yeah, that's good, because it's so important. Like, she's an epitome of pitching to your niche right there. Any other questions? Okay. I'm going to let you guys go. Have a good night, everyone.
Night.
Bye.